All right, this is Brandon Hayes with Anthony Dinar, and today we're taking a look at Jaws Unleashed for the PlayStation 2.
This is our last episode of the season, and to celebrate, I even read the book. Did you know that there was a book for this?
Yes.
Welcome to Amity Island. This year promises to be better than ever. Seal Island continues to be a great attraction, especially with a recent increase in its population. And new partnerships with corporations such as Environ Plus will allow us to open our doors to even more visitors.
So,
Evil corporations.
Yeah. You got your basic setup for a Jaws movie. You got stupid reasons to get people into the water, and then stupid reasons to not shut down the beach.
Yeah.
You need those summer dollars. But, yeah, to talk about, you mentioned the book. We watched the movies, Jaws 1 and 2. Like, I've seen all the Jaws movies before. This was the first time you had ever seen the movies. And then you decided, for some dumb reason, that you were going to read the book, too, which is, like, extra homework I didn't insist upon. Are you happy you read the book?
I'm like that douche. Like, the book is better. You know, there's always that one guy who's going to say that. I enjoyed the book, I guess, if I had never seen the movies. But I don't know. Can you think about, you know, when you're making this and being responsible for a cliche that's gonna outlive you? You know, like, I'm not gonna close down the beaches. Like that. That's such a cliche now. You see it. Like in,
yeah, but
in
they
a
didn't
lot
realize
of
it at the time.
Oh yeah, totally. I understand that, but I mean, like, it's got to feel weird to be responsible for something like, I don't know, so much bigger than you anticipated. But this is great. You're playing as the shark, so instead of being the people, you're rooting for the bad guy. I already like this game.
I think sometimes, at least in those later Jaws movies, you were rooting for the shark too. Didn't care. Here's the thing. First of all, let me mention the book. Even though, like, I didn't read it, technically neither did you, because you listened to the audiobook.
Okay, so yeah, I listened to the audiobook, but I have a commute for work, and I enjoy that. It's better than the radio. Can you blame me?
Well, no, I was just going to rip into the audiobook. I don't know who reads it, but holy shit, is he boring.
You're
like,
just
I listened
not
to
in...
a tiny bit of it, and it almost put me to sleep. And I was thinking, like, how did you listen to this behind the wheel?
Yeah, it was fine. It didn't bother me at all. He did a good job, actually.
He's talking about this violent shark, and he's just, like, so mundane and boring. And then he ripped into the flesh. Blood splattered everywhere.
Okay, you
and I'm falling asleep.
It wasn't that bad. If it wasn't for copyright issues, I'd play it right now and prove you wrong.
So then, the movies that you saw, again, you had never seen the Jaws movies before until I showed them to you, and like you mentioned about the whole cliche thing, like, even though you hadn't seen Jaws movies before,
I knew the whole
movie.
movie.
Basically had seen the movie before because you've seen a million different ripoffs.
Right.
And that's something that, like, when I'm being sort of critical of the movie today, everyone rips into me like, oh, it's a classic. And I'm like, yeah, I understand its significant importance being, like, the first blockbuster and all that shit. But, like, I don't ever expect anyone your age or younger to care anymore because they've already seen this done so badly in 1,000 different movies, you know?
Yeah, totally.
There's, like, always a mayor or some sort of
badly dressed elected official
who's going to keep people in the water no matter what because they need those summer dollars or the like
evil corporations and stuff.
You need to keep that festival going or whatever the case may be. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
And it can't ever be canceled no matter how many people die. But this game is fun to play from the shark's perspective, just killing people violently.
I mean, look at all that blood. That's fucking awesome.
That's amazing. This is so much better than that NES version.
Oh, totally. This is leaps and bounds, yeah.
I tried playing this first, and I think maybe this is just straight up your footage.
Yeah.
I don't think we salvaged any of mine.
It's not easy to play. It's kind of, like, awkward. Like, the camera doesn't know really how to work, and it's not fleshed out very well.
Well, that's a problem with any sort of game where you've got the XYZ access, like you're swimming.
Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult. Until the day when video games are like you're controlling the shit with your mind, these games won't be perfect.
Right. You only got so many buttons and so many fingers. Yeah.
Because I was struggling with this so much. Like, I know what I wanted the shark to do, but he would never do it. And so, like, I gave up. I was so excited to play this game, and then when I couldn't play it, I'm like, maybe you can do it. And you struggled with it for like an hour or so before we started getting this footage.
Yeah, exactly.
But
and you cut out a lot of the like weirdo camera angles and stuff that you were forced to see. It was dizzying. Like if you didn't take some Dramamine or whatever before watching this episode, if we didn't do any editing, you would have been sick. You would have been seasick, land lovers. Like.
So, of the movies, what did you think?
Okay, so, like, I thought that it was stupid in the sense that, like, there's no motivation, for the mayor to be a bad guy other than just him being a bad guy. Like, I don't know, I thought that was kind of lame. I love how there's, like, half-eaten bodies floating around. That's so cool. I found that really lame, but I mean, let's face it, there's a ton of movies that are like that. You're kind of just used to it.
You know what's funny? You mentioned that, like, yeah, that is a cliche, not just in, like, these creature feature films, but there's always, like, that one defiant asshole who refuses to believe whatever's going on.
Yeah.
I just got done watching the first Amityville.
Yeah.
And that's like you know what that is? It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Okay. This family is living in this house that's haunted, and so a priest comes by to bless the house, and then he starts getting sick, and he's attacked by all these flies and stuff, because, like, the evil force wants him out of the house.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I'm not powerful enough. I need to go to the other preachers of the church and tell them what's going on. And there's a lead priest who's like, I won't hear of it. This is ridiculous. And it's played by the mayor from Jaws. And I'm like, is that what this guy does? He's just a defiant jerk in every movie he's in?
Poor guy's typecasted.
We need those communion dollars.
You know what? Wouldn't that be good for business? Like proof of like God and the devil or something?
You would think so, but in that movie he was actually against it. He was like, nothing you're telling me can't be like written off as being just like logic, you know?
Right.
Like, you're looking too much into it. It's not a miracle or it's not a curse or whatever. Anyway, way off target.
Yeah. I think that's the mayor to the left, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I remember the story, but it doesn't matter because you're the shark, you're caught, and now the whole like objective of this level is to get out of this aquarium, and that's a guy who works here. He's got that key, and I have to eat him. And like without swallowing him, I got to put his like dead carcass up to that computer
easy
board.
pass.
Yeah, that easy pass. Then I open the door, and then I can get out.
And I don't know how much.
Sucks.
Yeah, I don't know how much I saved of this footage in particular. It's maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes long at the most. Something, I don't know. You played this level for like 2 hours, I swear.
Yeah, it sucked. One, it's too small. I didn't know what was going on. So when you turn around, the camera angles again are all fucked up, and then it's like he's on land, you're in water, it's kind of hard to grab him. You know what I mean? It sucks. It's confusing. The game blows. Aside from the violence, that's all I'm in it for is the violence.
Oh, you're like, you started off this thing saying like, oh, this is a great game, and then you're like, oh, now that I'm remembering all the stuff I had to do, this game sucks.
See my shark vision?
Yeah. That's just to help you. It looks ridiculous when the thing's on land, but like when you're in the ocean, that really helps point out where things are.
I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, some of these levels were poorly designed, but I do love the concept, and just because I couldn't play it, I'm not going to say it's a shitty game. Like, it does have some merit. It's just, I would like to see them do something like this now.
Yes.
And not on the PS2, but like, you know, current gen, PS4, something that like, I don't know, is more refined.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the controls would be better. I don't know.
And like, you get some really lame, like, level ideas in this. Like, this level's stupid. Getting out of here shouldn't be... It should be about brute force. I know, like, the shark is supposed to be smart, but, see how I have to take his body to that?
Yeah, and I think this one didn't work because isn't that a scuba diver or something? Like, you grabbed the wrong body?
Yeah, it was fucking dumb. But it should be about brute force. They should be able to just, like, break the glass or jump out of it or something. What the fuck kind of physics was that?
I don't know.
But it would be great to see this on like the PlayStation 4, and to have someone come up with like better ideas. Like, you're the shark, they're trying to catch you, and kill you, and you're having to outsmart and outwit them, and like maybe like set up traps essentially to get the humans back. Like,
set up traps. That's ridiculous. You're a shark.
Well, he was smart. The shark was really intelligent. So like I can see that. I don't want it to be like levels like this though. I want it to be in the open ocean.
Yeah, but I think they were just trying to give you a bunch of different stuff because like after a while it's just going to get boring. Like there isn't a section where it's just free for all, where you can just swim around and kill things at your leisure with no objective whatsoever. And that sounds fun, but after about 15 minutes, you're like, yeah, I've done everything.
Yeah, it's GTA. It's Grand Theft Auto in the ocean. That's a perfect analogy because it's like, it's so much fun to, get in a car, pick up a hooker, run from the cops, but it gets old really quick. And that's why you're supposed to do the missions and stuff, but it felt exactly like GTA.
Except you can't hook up with shark women. That might have been interesting. So, anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah.
So you saw them and you thought they were okay, I guess. Like, are you going to watch 3 and 4?
Yeah, I almost wanted to watch number 3 before doing this audio recording, but I can't handle anymore Shark right now. I got to give it some time. Look at me, I'm out of the water. I gotta wait a little while before I get into another Jaws movie.
But we watched those so long ago. This is old footage.
Yeah, it's still I listened to the audiobook, dude. Like, it's...
Yeah, well, again, no one asked you to do that.
Well, yeah, it's actually a little bit redeeming. So, we got a few characters here. We mentioned the mayor. Well, we also got Brody, which is the cop, the main good guy. In the movie, he had just got the job, and he's not from around not Amityville. What the fuck is the name of that place?
Yeah, Amity.
Oh, okay. And so
maybe that is the same character. After the mayor got ousted, he became a priest.
Oh shit. Way too close to this. So his motivation is like, it's my job to protect like the people. And that's why he fights with the mayor, and he's like, you got to close the beaches down. All that makes sense, except in the book, he's actually born and raised there, and he's elected to be the sheriff and of whatever county, and then his wife is somebody who went there one summer, and they hooked up and got married and had kids. So there's this weird dynamic between locals and tourists, and I thought that was cool. It made more sense than making Brody just a fucking, I don't know, like a fish out of water. Right? That's a really dumb cliche, but it fits.
Yeah, I don't know if I heard you actually explain that before, and I'm like, I don't see that that's such a big deal to me. It doesn't, I don't know.
It needs
the one
to be
thing I'm
there.
interested in, like, is the fact that, remember I told you before, I mentioned in different videos that, like, the mayor wanted to shut down the beach, but he couldn't because there was like a mob sort of influence. Like, apparently that's not true at all.
Okay, so in the book, he's tied into real estate, and so the mayor's wife gets sick, and she has like cancer or something like that, and he's gotta like pay the medical bills. So what he does is he basically gets like a loan from a loan shark. Love all these puns, and it's tied into the mob somehow because they're tied into real estate. And they mentioned the Selectmen a little bit in the movie. I think one or two. I don't think it's both. But it's basically like the elected officials. But it's sort of like secret. It doesn't make sense. They didn't really flesh that out too well. But
I can understand why all that was cut then, because it sounds boring as shit.
Yeah, but it's all about money, and so that's why he wants the beaches to open. So first, when the shark comes in and they close the beaches down, real estate really just plummets. So what he does is the mayor buys a bunch of land with the money of the mob. And so then he has to wait for the real estate prices to come back up again, which is why he wants to get the shark situation taken care of, because he needs to sell all that land, because he actually doesn't have enough money to close on all those contracts. He's just holding them up. He's in escrow to buy this property.
Yeah, see, when I heard about the whole mob influence, in my head I pictured something so much cooler,
better than
like
that. Yeah.
Sopranos on the beach, and this is like boring ass mortgages and stuff.
I'm a real estate agent, and I understand all of this, and so it makes sense. We're talking about a lot of money here, and so logically, he has a motivation, the mayor. And
yeah, but
it makes sense why he's an asshole, and that's important.
But you can understand why real estate doesn't make for gripping cinema.
No, but they could have they could have explained it, simplified it way down. Yeah, they didn't even try in the movies.
No,
the mayor was just an asshole for being. Oh, fuck you!
It's like you're describing this story, and I'm having flashbacks of that audiobook. I'm starting to fall asleep.
Oh, god damn it. You're the reason why fucking movies suck now. You're like, we gotta baby them up with fast action. Like, God forbid anything has real, story or plot to it.
No, that's not entirely true. I like a lot more movies that are slow burns than you do, certainly.
Yeah, well, Brody and the mayor have, this big long history. They've known each other forever, and so it makes more sense. It's funny that killer whale and a shark are fighting each other. It makes more sense that the mayor's a bad guy, but Brody can't understand why. It's cool. I mean, to be able to flesh out the story, I understand it's going to take time, and that's why they didn't put it in the movie. But it was great to have like real motivation. You know, the reason that there was so many like rip-offs of Jaws was because they were making fun of the fact of like how fucking dumb it was.
No, there were plenty of people who thought it was a fucking great movie, and then they were trying to duplicate that because they knew it would be a big hit. And some of those rip-offs were a big hit.
Serious.
There
but
were a
at
couple
the same time,
spoofs.
like we did make a ton of spoofs on this movie.
Yeah, but there was more, like I said, legit attempts to like it. Again, it's hard to look back today and see it as like this great classic film. Like, I understand why it's so important, but even I don't care about it.
Yeah.
It's just it's dull to me, and I've seen it all before.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen some movies do certain things better, like with trying to watch the original Jaws and sit through Quint's bullshit. Like, I just want to smack that bastard sometimes.
Yeah.
He's so fucking annoying. And then Richard Dreyfuss is annoying.
Who's that?
He's what's his name? The third guy. He's not the sheriff. He's not Quint.
He's the shark expert we're talking about. Yeah. So in the book, Brody the cop, his wife ends up fucking that guy, the shark expert.
See, I mean, that would have been kind of an interesting dynamic, I suppose, if they kept that in the movie. But, yeah, I don't know if it's really necessary.
Well, it was cool to have, like, you know, them fight. Because, like, towards the end of the book, it was like, you know, Brody wanted to kill him. So, like, I thought that was kind of cool. Like, it was neat. And, like, as a cop, like, he put things together and figured it out without hearing either of them admit it. So he figured it out, and he wanted to kill him. And there was like lots of like tense moments with that. It was kind of cool.
And speaking of him, he died in the book.
Yeah. So they brought that stupid cage like they did in the movie, and then they brought it down, and the shark ate him.
Yeah, which is what should have happened in the movie.
Yeah, totally.
To give it that crappy Hollywood ending where he just pops up at the end is really stupid. And, like, I love how, like, him and Brody are all, like, laughing. Like, oh, you're still alive, thank God. And then, like, I don't know, 10 minutes later, he's like, oh, hey, what about Quint? Oh, no, Quint's dead. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he should have died in the movie.
But another thing that's like really weird about Richard Dreyfuss's character in Jaws is he's constantly like putting things in his mouth.
Yeah,
he's got big
like
thick work gloves.
Stuff. Yeah,
and he like sticks his two pinkies in his mouth and spreads his mouth open, so he's like, you know, sticking out his tongue.
Yeah,
it's like, how gross is that?
Yeah, that's nasty.
And then there's a part where he's in the water, in the cage, getting ready to be submerged. He removes his glasses, and then Sheriff Brody puts like the end of his glasses in his own mouth. Like, it's gross to suck on the earpiece of your own glasses, let alone someone else's.
You want to suck on my earpiece glass?
And this isn't fucking CGI or anything. That's a real physical prop.
Yeah.
And the guy who played Brody, his name's escaping me right now. Like,
who cares? No one knows what it is anyways.
No, lots of people do. Anyway, he really had to stick that in his mouth and taste that ear sweat.
I'm sure, like, it's not that gross. I mean, like the actor probably only wore it like for the movie, so it wasn't like, I don't know, caked on, you know, sweat and skin
They're
cells
out
and
the middle of summer.
Yeah, I'm sure it was salty. I'm just saying it could have been worse. And that's what real actors do. That's why they get paid the big bucks, man.
Yeah. Speaking of eating, like,
I love how he's still alive and he's missing his arm.
There's all sorts of things that you eat as Jaws in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, license plates and shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah, you collect them. They're like, hidden coins.
And it's just funny because it's only a reference to the one moment in Jaws where they gut a fish and then they open it up and they see what's in his stomach.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's been eating garbage.
Yeah, it should have been like other pieces of garbage. It shouldn't have been just all the license plates, That would have been funny.
What? There's something else that you eat in here too.
I can't
it's like
remember.
cans or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I think that it was cans.
A whole lot of metal. I like this shot right here where you just got that surfer or whatever stuck in your teeth.
I'm drowning my food. Yeah, this was the best part. And
Just
like you
seeing
could hear
the
the
horrific
screaming
deaths.
underwater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's those machines that we gotta break. The evil corporation. The guy who wrote this book, he had like I don't want to call it survivor's guilt, but like he had a lot of remorse. There we go for writing the book. He's like, because of this book and this story, like a lot of people like got scared of sharks and started killing them unnecessarily and blah 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 blah. And so he donated a ton of money to help the sharks, like the proceeds of the book or whatever, the rights to maybe the movie he sold, whatever. He donated like a ton of money to the cause for the sharks.
I've never been motivated like a call to action after watching a film. Like, oh, I just saw like, sharks in a movie and they were violent. Like, I want to go out and kill sharks now.
Man, like, I'm incited to violence all the time. What are you talking about? Joking. It's like, you should have seen me after I watched American History X. No, I'm just joking.
The Jaws 3 kind of takes place in a SeaWorld type location. And and then they pretend that didn't happen for Jaws 4. They just write Jaws 3 right out of existence, which is funny because it's like, why would you do that? Other than like, I guess maybe you think that Jaws 3 was bad, and you don't want it to ruin the canon of the Jaws.
Okay, so it's all the
movies.
same shark. Is what we're talking about then? Like,
No.
that's why. Oh, okay.
No,
I was
because
gonna say.
it was a different shark in the second movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did it, like, were we supposed to believe that it came back, like, survived the whatever attack?
Well, no, it's so it's just basic. I've heard this said before by someone. I think it was Jason Mantzoukas on How'd This Get Made. He equated it
I
to
love that guy.
Yeah, he equated it to like the Jaws family and the Brody family as the Hatfields and McCoys. So they just all hate each other throughout the entire bloodline. But for whatever reason, the writers were like, yeah, Jaws 3 is bad or something, so we're going to pretend it doesn't exist, and then Jaws 4 is going to be like the real third movie. And it's terrible. It's like the worst movie, one of the worst movies ever, but it's like bad in a really funny, good way. It's very
Because they were
entertaining.
trying to be serious, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, how dare you say Jaws 3 is bad when you made Jaws 4? But it gets really crazy. It's hard to explain without having seen the movie. But I'll just say, like, they tried to explain it at one point. I suppose it was like in the novelization or something that there was like some sort of voodoo curse inflicted upon the Brodies. But they wrote that out because it was too unbelievable. But yet, the occurrences that happen in Jaws 4 don't make any sense without some kind of explanation. Like, they should have kept the voodoo plot.
That's fucking dumb.
Yeah,
I kind of wish that they made a sequel to the book, because I would totally like get the audiobook for that one too. It would have been kind of cool to see like Brody's wife got knocked up by the shark expert dude, and then like you have this like whole probably she brings it to term and like they start raising the kid or something, and then like he pieces it together, or like you could see like a logical explanation for like, you know, like the next movie, like, and then you just throw a shark in it. Like it would have been okay. You didn't need to get into like voodoo curses or whatever. Like it, I don't know. They could have done it.
Well, I guess it.
Look at this fucking pollution
The
shit.
real thing is that you didn't need sequels to this whatsoever.
No, you didn't.
The one was fine by itself, but because it made so much money, they were like, yeah, we definitely need to make a sequel. And so like the guy who played Brody didn't want to be a part of it at all, but like contractually he was forced to. So you can just tell the whole movie he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And the story's really stupid too. It's just like another shark occurs. Although it does have one of the most funny, unintentionally funny scenes. Remember that girl is on the boat and she accidentally spills gasoline all over her body and then accidentally catches herself on fire?
Yeah.
I laughed so hard when I saw that.
That was like right up there with the gasoline fight in Zoolander. Like
it was about the same amount of realism.
You know, one thing I really hate about this game is like the environmentalist aspect to this. Like, granted, like we shouldn't, you know, just pollute our planet, right? Like I'm totally on board with that. Like we don't need like senseless killing. We don't need senseless, you know, pollution. But it is kind of dumb that we're like, I don't know, playing a shark and we're all about the environment.
Yeah, not really. You're just seeing some people dump toxic waste.
Yeah, like
into the water.
they're throwing waste in there, and then you got to take that waste and you got to blow up the plant who's like putting in chemical waste into that. Like fucking Jaws wouldn't do that. Jaws would swim away where there's clean water and eat shit. Like he wouldn't be like a super sentient being. Like I understand he's smart, but like he's not that smart.
I think the motivation of Jaws here is like just to fuck shit up. I don't think he's on a crusade to like save the planet. He's not destroying that factory because he's like one of the Planeteers. He's like just out to kill as many people as possible. Meanwhile, you see this glitch here?
It's disappearing.
Like that machine kept appearing and disappearing. It's kind of funny. That's why I kept that footage in.
Yeah, it's hard to eat that thing when it just disappears like that.
Yeah, and it was hard enough to move already in this game.
Yeah, see, tin can. There you go.
Yeah. It's funny because like the Angry Nerd did a video on this a long time ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Where like I saw it for the first time. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's a great idea to have Jaws. Like you're playable as Jaws. Like it's not like the old NES game that just fucking sucks. Then he played like very little of it. I don't even think he got past the tutorial stage. And as like just a casual viewer, you don't really realize that until you start playing the game, and then you watch his video again, and you're like, oh, yeah, he didn't have much tolerance for these controls either, apparently.
Yeah, this is a level where I said fuck it, because I did want to get further. Like, I didn't want to give up on the game. Like, I spent, like, a whole day playing this. But you get into this point where it wasn't even fun. It was really frustrating. I couldn't beat it because, like, I had to swim through these tubes, and it was sort of like a race, and it's stupid. This isn't what Jaws is supposed to be about, okay? Like, supposed to eat people, find lady sharks.
Well, we already said, though, like, if that's all the game was, it would get boring real quick.
Yeah, but you could have made okay levels. This is ridiculous.
So what would your ideal level be? You're the creator of the next Jaws game. What's level 1?
I'm cutting out anything remotely environmentalist. So that's gone. I'm going to
so
have...
you're attacking an oil tanker and you're hammering your head into the side of it to try and break it open so you can destroy the water you live in.
No. Okay, you want my level idea? Here's my level idea. It's gonna be a big shocker here. It's gonna be like the movie. You're gonna be on a beach. It's gonna be bright. It's not gonna be dark like this. And I'm gonna eat someone. And once I eat someone, then it sets off like the police, sort of like in GTA. So then they're after me, and what I have to do is avoid those fisherman boats. But I need to eat, right? And I can eat like sea lions and stuff, but like now that I got a taste for like human blood, only humans will satisfy my hunger for whatever dumb reason. Again, we're going like the movie, right? So like really the people trying to stop me eating the people, all those fisherman boats, and like that dynamic, like you could do that. And then once you've like completely shut down the beach or whatever, you move on to the next beach, and it's a different layout, it's a different level entirely, and you just basically like you go up the coastline. I think that'd be fun. And you try to like spread your seed and make little baby Jaws, because they'll grow up to be giant sharks too. And then like you just
want to see shark sex.
No,
like,
but
cut that out entirely. That's not going to pass the ESRB.
But you would have like an empire, and like if you're gonna have like smart sharks, like that, I think that would be fine. And, like sort of like dolphins, like sharks started to evolve and like turn into like smart as dolphins. Like that'd be kind of cool. I could see that. That's my game.
So like
that would be a success.
At the end of the level, every level, because you said you go from like beach town to beach town.
Yeah.
At the end of every level, you see the defiant mayor just sad and upset, like he can no longer, no matter, like it's out of control. He has to concede that there's a shark problem.
He's like the end boss. It's like you have to ruin his political career to advance to the next town. And then like after a while, like the reputation of the beach being safe again, like it's like a meter, like you haven't been there in a while, so you got to constantly keep coming back to like install fear. And it's like, how many beaches can you control and juggle at one time? Like it could be a massive MMORPG. It's be bigger than WoW.
Fucking everything's bigger than WoW now. You know how many subscribers they're down to at this point? Fuck that game. All right, so this game's over. This is where you gave up. You see your sad, pathetic corpse.
Yeah, fuck this game. If anyone wants to pay me for my intellectual property or whatever, for my brilliant game idea for Jaws remastered, for PlayStation 4, you can email me at torturevision.com.
It's never gonna happen.
Visit my website, anthonydinar.com.
Shameless plug.